I haven't written a script for this because the events of last year couldn't have been manufactured by anyone. It was a year full of events we never want to see repeated again. We never want to go through again. But was 2020 a bad year? In short, yes. In long term, well, let's get on with it.
2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
2020 is finally over. And to be honest with you, I think we can all agree, for the best. No one wants to put up with what happened in 2020 anymore. But to look back on it as a historical context, it should be studied on what genuinely the fuck happened in 2020. And I'm going to reject 2020 an entire year. I'm not going to give it a rating. You can already imagine 2020 is rejected. It's fucked, fuck it off, go away, leave me alone. People say we should do it properly. You should have sat down, you should have studied it, gone through it all, and then come out with a conclusion of making a proper review. But fuck that for a bag of chips, this shit is unscripted, so I will fucking say anything. Even I don't know what I'm gonna say. Flibbity jibber. How about that? How about a bit of flibbity? January.
Can you say hello?
No.
So excited. Well, hi.
No.
Has to start off with our friends in Australia. You see, 2020 did not start off well for Australia, as the Australian bushfires had spread, killing thousands of people and creatures. Not a good start. You're not going to blow that candle out. But in this country, what's the worst thing that can happen? Meghan and Harry leave the royal family. Who gives two shits about Meghan and Harry leaving the royal family? It's never been done before. It has. We just don't talk about that. But at least the Queen still has Prince Andrew to look after her, hey?
Pizza Express in Woking.
And funnily enough, in January, something about China comes out. COVID-19 business? We're not going to hear much about it, are we? COVID-19 actually got properly announced. There was this China virus that was going around as memes and jokes among the media and the news outlets, and oh, something's happening in China, but we're fine, we're not in China. Most of the shit we buy is made in China, but it's okay, we'll be fine. But we can't have January not be one of the shittest months if it wasn't for a tragedy that took the lives of a father and a daughter. Yes, I'm talking about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant and his daughter was tragically killed in a accident. There's zero jokes about this bit. I'm a father of a daughter. Fuck making a joke about that. So the world all shared their respects and admiration to one of the best in the game. But what I can joke about are the films that came out in January. The Grudge remake, Dolittle, Bad Boys for Life. Now, as of recording this, Bad Boys for Life has become the biggest box office hit in the US for 2020. I haven't seen it. Probably not going to bother with it. But I saw the other two. I saw The Grudge, and then I saw Dolittle. So maybe this year can get better when it comes to movies. February. Harvey Weinstein gets convicted of just being a dick, being a massive twat. And then we had the Oscars. Parasite just took everything. Who would have thought a film called Parasite would dominate in 2020? But something good for me, Back to the Future the musical opened in Manchester, and your boy went to go watch one of the previews, and the show was good. Did you know, in that night, I saw Bob Gale standing at the back of the theatre, Alan Silvestri sat in the row in front of us, in the chair in front of me and my friend, and when the show ended and everyone's walking out, Robert fucking Zemeckis walks out of the side of the stage, and I lose my shit. Another tragedy though, Kirk Douglas, legend in Hollywood. I don't think I've ever seen a film by Kirk Douglas yet, But you know the name Kirk Douglas and you know how much of an impact he had when it came to the silver screen. But let's talk about films in February. Birds of Prey, Sonic the Hedgehog and The Invisible Man. Here's where things start getting just a little bit weird. No Time to Die, the James Bond film, has been delayed. It would then get delayed again from February to next April. Something's up. Also, this COVID-19 thing seems to be getting bigger. Do you want to hear what else happened in February? My tooth got chipped. Wasn't happy. Bastard. And in March.
It was unclear how he defined that in terms of overall numbers or gross per day, and whether your numbers start.
The UK went into lockdown. I remember going to the work on the Thursday and then on the Friday sitting there thinking, oh boy, what am I going to get money? The whole country went pretty much black. People started panic buying. And the biggest meme of all was the toilet roll. People going out and spending stupid amounts on toilet roll because they don't know if it's going to be coming into the country, what's going to happen. People just panic buying. But here's the thing, that got backlash in the right way. The reason why it's the right way is because if you think about the people that can't get out to the shops because of the virus and because of, I don't know, maybe their age or their health, you're fucking them over. So to all them motherfuckers that panic bought at the start of the year, you fucked. Also in March, Tiger King happened.
I'm broke as shit and I don't mind saying it.
We gotta talk about Harvey Weinstein again, but in a good way. The motherfucker gets 23 years, and seeing at the age and the fragility of this old fuck, he's probably going to die in prison unless someone in Hollywood gets him out. Or they kill him, like they did to Epstein. I mean, nothing. March continues to carry on with the film themes. Even though we still had films coming out like Onward and Bloodshot, Quiet Place Part 2 had its premiere, then got pushed back till April 2021. This is shit. Max von Sydow passes away. If you don't know who Max von Sydow is, now you do. And shit starts going from bad to worse. As a young girl, completely innocent, not doing anything wrong, is murdered by the name of Breonna Taylor. You can see how this year is going to go, but when it comes to these kind of things, I don't want to make jokes about it, because if you make a joke about them, you know you're going to get someone coming back and fighting you. But when it comes to situations like this, you shouldn't joke about it. This innocent girl was murdered. Something big is going to happen, but it will only take one more death. Or in April. And Joe Biden has just become a candidate for the next president of the United States, and Donald Trump thinks he's already won. I can't talk, we have Boris. And as for April, we're stuck inside. Trolls World Tour comes out there. A film I had to watch the other weekend. It's May! My birthday's in May, and Dominic Cummings goes for a drive. Now listen to this. For months, the UK government has been putting out one message. Stay at home, stay safe, save lives, bloody bloody, get fucked. Basically, we're going to do what we want. Because Dominic Cummings, who does advisory shit for Boris, basically the man that got Boris Johnson elected, he was doing his social media stuff, he was making sure Boris got noticed more than anyone else, which got him the most attention, got him the most votes, got him as the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Dominic Cummings is basically the man who got Boris Johnson the job. Well, Dominic Cummings went for a drive. About an 8-hour drive. With his wife and his child. Children. Delete as appropriate. The reason why he went for a drive is to go stay at his parents' estate, where they have a nice outfield house. A cottage motherfucker thing. The reason being is because he's tested positive for COVID. He then went for a drive to test his eyesight at Barnard Castle with his family, with his wife and his children. Where's that clip of John Swan again? What? There it is. What the fuck? Excuse me, if my eyes were playing up, I wouldn't then endanger my child. And what did the Prime Minister and the UK government say? He was doing what was right as a parent. Do you think we would have got away with that? While the public and the media were saying you should either fire him or he should quit, Boris Johnson went, nah, I don't think he's got any dirt on me though, but I'm just going to keep him around for a little while. The month continues to get worse. I'm just going to lie on it first though. Black Widow was supposed to be released in May, gets delayed till May next year in 2021. I've got to stop saying next year because we're not in 2020 anymore. Thank God, we're in 2021. Oh boy, what the fuck's going to happen this year? But yes, Black Widow gets delayed, but Scooby-Doo comes out, the new Scooby-Doo film called Scoob. That comes out. Whatever. First off, WWE wrestler Shad Gaspard, better known for being portrayed in Crime Time as a tag team. Shad Gaspard saved his son before being swept away in the ocean and found a couple days later. He's just a hero. Nothing more could be said. It was incredible. Now for what you were expecting, what you were waiting for, I'm going to just put the facts out there. George Floyd is murdered. Now, I have seen the body cam from the police officers. No one dies because of a fake note. Don't give a fuck what people say. If it wasn't for the fake note, he wouldn't have died. Don't give a fuck. It also doesn't take 4 people to restrain one man when one of them has a knee on the neck. It is inexcusable. It is fucking murder. And that's all I've got to say about that. Regardless of what he as a person did before or prior, had no relevance to what took place. George Floyd was murdered. It started a rise in the Black Lives Matter community. It started global outrage, protests on the street, horrific scenes. The White House went dark, which for us in England, we just go, you just turn the lights off, who cares? But for Americans, you can see how much that mattered, how important it was. They shut the lights off. They made the whole world think America, the politics, the president does not give a shit. Unexcusable. It happened. It shouldn't have happened. So that's what I'm going to say about that. It's fucked. Should never have happened. Hopefully we can not move past it, but grow as a society because of it. It's June.
What in cousin fucking tarnation, Alabama Betty Crocker, Miss fucking Betty White shit is this?
And the fallout of what happened with George Floyd is still taking place. And the president, as I said, they made it look like they don't care about the protests or the anger. What does he decide to do? Trump threatens to use the army against protesters for the George Floyd tragedy. And he still thought he was going to win the presidency again. What else happened in June? It's About Time, apparently. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, is released. And the whole world went, fuck, that game's hard and repetitive. But we enjoyed it. And we want to see what happened next. High hopes. Artemis Fowl gets released. I ain't got a clue either. It's a film. It got released. But Candyman gets delayed. Obviously they're rebooting the franchise for Candyman. It gets delayed until next August. The man that put nipples on Batman also passes away, Joel Schumacher. Sad loss, but nipples. July.
Hey!
Greyhound gets released. Me neither. I want to get this name right because she's a dick. Ghislaine Maxwell. This bitch gets arrested. Apparently she was one of the ringers. She would get all the underage people for Epstein. With the allegedly. More delays in cinema as Top Gun Maverick. I saw that trailer every time I went to the cinema, but it kept getting delayed, and it has finally been delayed until July 2021. That's not the worst though. You see, Ghostbusters Afterlife. In other words, Ghostbusters 3. Ghostbusters Afterlife gets delayed until June 2021. August, and Kamala Harris has been picked to run alongside Joe Biden. Harris and Biden together, looking good, could be well, because Harris don't take no shit. An explosion also happened in Beirut. It was insane. Absolutely insane. If you haven't seen the footage, I'm not going to play it. Because so many people were infected by it, and a lot of people were killed. It was a big explosion. So, thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Beirut, and a death that shocked everyone. While memes were being put out, the reality hit home when Chadwell Boseman passes away. Black Panther, the king, is dead. And it shocked the world. Thoughts and prayers go out to the family, obviously. A pledge that his sister within the film takes over the Panther position. When it comes to films, Bill and Ted Face the Music and The New Mutants is released. It's September! They're filming Batman in Liverpool and Pattinson gets COVID. Who the fuck knows anymore? Fuck. We'll see Batman in 2022. The family of Breonna Taylor have moved forward and have received a $12 million settlement for her murder. It's money. It's not going to bring her back. It might do something, but the loss is still there. The impact has already been made. And we could just adapt and develop and thrive as a society and grow. Tenet and Mulan get released. Disney Plus basically went, you pay us £6 and then you pay on another £20 and you can watch the new Mulan. And Tenet gets released. Tenet. But another delay for March 2021. The new Kingsman film, aka The King's Men, a prequel to how it all was made. October. Eddie Van Halen dies. Tragedy in the music world, especially for rock fans, which I am one of them. Also, Sean Connery passes away. Probably, arguably, the best James Bond ever passes away, and well, he's probably the most iconic James Bond. If you think of James Bond, you see Sean Connery, don't you? Let's face it, you don't see Daniel fucking Craig. A new version of The Witches is released. Didn't even know that was happening. It also gets backlash because of the hands. Another tragedy has taken place, but this time in the film world, because Halloween Kills is delayed till next year, till 2021. Don't fucking say it! And Halloween Ends gets delayed till 2022 probably. It's November.
Fine, I guess you are my little PogChamp. Come here.
And Johnny Depp's in the news. He's been having his libel case against the Sun after the Sun called him a wife beater, and he loses it. Johnny Depp is confirmed a wife beater by the Sun newspaper, legally through the courts now, and Johnny Depp takes a step back and removes himself from the Fantastic Beasts 3, and Amber Heard turns around and says, well, I'm not leaving Aquaman 2, fuck that. This is where people get mad. Johnny Depp didn't lose a case against Amber Heard. He lost a case against the Sun. Johnny Depp provided evidence to support his claims that it was the other way around. It was Amber Heard abusing him. Amber Heard was brought in for the Sun to say, nah, mate, it's him. Both sides of the evidence proves both individuals were assaulting and abusing the other person. Whether it's one more than the other, it still happened. Both have to be held accountable for their actions. Johnny Depp taking a step back from Fantastic Beasts 3, fair respect to him for doing the right thing, and his replacement, you can't complain with. But Amber Heard turned around and saying she's going to stick with Aquaman 2, and Warner Brothers turned around saying, yeah, we're happy with keeping her. Doesn't make sense to people, and that's why people got upset, and the inevitable backlash. Fuck Amber Heard. But when it comes to YouTube, right here, our beautiful land of the not free, because you can't be careful what you fucking say, the most viewed video on YouTube is now Baby Shark. 7 billion views. The PlayStation 5 is released to the public and people can't get it. Whereas the PlayStation 2 was easier to build and was released in bulk, the PlayStation 5 is not built in bulk. People panic buying, people just buying loads of them. Either people couldn't get them, you can get them but later than you thought you would, or people were buying dozens of them and selling them on eBay for 3 times the price. The demand's there, people are going to buy it. The better alternative is to say, you've just bought 4 PlayStation 5s. No one's going to buy them off you because we don't know what you've done to them. Now you're stuck with $2,000 of debt. Football legend Diego Maradona passed away. I've only really just got into football recently. Yeah, no, it's weird. And the whole world of football and sport did the only thing appropriate for him. They gave him a hand. Cheating bastard. Something else happened in... What was it? November. What else? Oh, Biden won.
This is the time to heal America.
Trump still thinks he did. December starts weird. Elliot Page comes out as transgender. Who's Elliot Page? Formerly known as Ellen Page, star of the film Juno. They come out as transgender, now called Elliot. I said that was weird. It just came out of the blue, came out of fucking nowhere. So, respect to Elliot Page. Fair fucks to you, mate. You do you. The COVID vaccine gets approved in the UK. You won't believe what the fuck's been happening recently, but the COVID vaccine gets approved for the UK to roll out. The idea is you take 1 jab and then 3 weeks later you take the second jab and you're not immune from it. You're just going to be able to handle it better. You know how they said they were going to give you 3 weeks later? You actually have to wait 3 months now. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, like conspiracy theorists bore me, but if you tell me I need it within 3 weeks, doesn't that tell me that going to 3 months is strange? But respect actually has to go out now to Tom Cruise. While on production for his new film, I believe it's Mission Impossible, fucking 7 billion, he berates his film crew for not following COVID guidelines. Stay apart. Stay safe. He literally berates them. There's a recording of it. Fair fucks to him. Don't break fucking guidelines. It's stupid. I'm going to say Charlie Hebdo. They're a French magazine. They made a cartoon illustration of the Prophet Muhammad and the building was attacked. And then they decided as an anniversary they would re-release those comics featuring the Prophet Muhammad. And they got attacked again. 14 people have been found guilty for the terror attacks at Charlie Hebdo. It's a satirical comic. I'm a fan of satire. I am. But people are very touchy. Wonder Woman 1984 comes out and apparently it's pretty good. Cool. And Barbara Windsor passes away. Barbara Windsor passed away. British legend in the Carry On films and EastEnders. Sad. But now, my notes are away. This is coming from me. 2020 has been a mess. No one can deny that. It has been a total cock-up. But us as a society have to move past it all. Have to evolve from the mistakes of 2020 to bring about a better 2021. When the government, when the politics, when everyone around you says stay at home, stay at home. When people say protect yourself, you're not doing it just for you. You're protecting your loved ones, the most vulnerable people around you. So just do it. Basically, 2021 could be the year where common sense is brought back. Apply a bit of common sense and the world can get on a lot better. Remnants of 2020 still linger in the air, but 2021 is whatever we make of it. So let's fucking get better. I mean, for fuck's sake, it snowed in England. We're happy. I mean, we're not happy we're all stuck inside still, but we're all just happy that it snowed. We can look over the horizon of our beautiful nation, into our horizon of our beautiful capital. We can all think upon ourselves and wonder, why does the moon look weird? 2020 gets rejected as it should be. Let's hope we can rejoice on 2021.
Two of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.